2,000 years ago, a Roman legion marched along the Via Appia. Today, the A1 motorway, Italy's primary north-south artery, follows this same ancient path. Modern satellites have mapped exactly 80,372 kilometers of Roman roads across Europe, with another 25,000 kilometers awaiting confirmation. The story begins in 312 BCE, when Appius Claudius Caecus built the first major Roman road. The Via Appia stretched 132 miles from Rome to Capua, using precisely cut volcanic rocks fitted without mortar. These same stones still carry traffic today, over 100,000 vehicles annually on some sections. The Romans revolutionized road building through precise engineering. Their surveyors used two main tools, the groma for straight lines and the chorobates for leveling, achieving accuracy within 1 degree over 50-kilometer distances. Every road followed the same formula. First, the agger, a raised platform 1 meter high and 15 meters wide. Then 4 specific layers, large stones at the bottom, concrete and crushed rock next, fine gravel third, and fitted surface stones on top. This standardization changed everything. Each major road was exactly 4.2 meters wide, space for 2 carts to pass. The surface curved exactly 25 centimeters higher in the middle for drainage. Whether in Britain or Egypt, every Roman road followed these same measurements, creating history's first standardized transport network. The Romans even developed special tools for maintenance. Modern Italy's highways trace these ancient paths with remarkable precision. The A2 Autostrada del Mediterraneo follows the Via Pompilia's exact route. The E45 European route mirrors the Via Flaminia, connecting Rome to Rimini just as it did 2,000 years ago. Where 3 Roman roads meet near Bologna, we find Italy's busiest highway intersection, handling 350,000 vehicles daily at the same spot where Roman traders once gathered. The Romans broke with tradition by building straight roads through mountains and across marshes. Before them, roads followed natural paths and animal trails. When they built the Via Flaminia in 220 BCE, local farmers protested, worried about soldiers and traders disturbing their way of life. Within 10 years, these same farmers were selling goods to travelers, and new towns appeared along the road. Each Roman road served specific purposes that still matter today. The Via Salaria, built for salt transport, is now the SS4 highway carrying chemical shipments. The Via Appia, originally for moving troops south, became the A24, still designated as a strategic military route. The Via Aurelia, built along the western coast in 241 BCE, was so well planned that today's SS1 highway follows 90% of its route. The Roman engineers had already found the best paths avoiding flood zones and unstable ground. The Romans' grid system of roads transformed how people traveled and traded. Major north-south routes like the Via Cassia intersected with east-west roads like the Via Valeria, creating a network that covered the empire. This same grid pattern shapes modern Italy's highway system. The A1 follows the old Via Cassia's north-south route, while the A24 traces the Via Valeria east-west, distributing traffic efficiently across the country. The impact of Roman roads on trade and wealth was dramatic and measurable. When new roads opened, trade volume increased by 20% on average, shown by the spread of pottery and coins. Before roads, most traded goods stayed within 30 kilometers of their origin. After roads were built, Goods regularly traveled 200 kilometers or more. This pattern still shows up today. Regions of Italy with preserved Roman roads have 25% more businesses per square kilometer than areas where Roman roads disappeared. The Romans' quest for power through roads appears clearly in military campaigns. Julius Caesar built 1,200 kilometers of new roads in Gaul in 58 BCE before starting his conquest. Trajan did the same in Dacia in 101 CE, constructing the Via Traiana Nova, 1,120 kilometers of road before the actual invasion. Today, Romania's DN6 highway follows this route, carrying over 2 million vehicles yearly. Even Roman engineering solutions remain relevant. At the Furlow Pass on the Via Flaminia, modern engineers couldn't find better routes through the mountains, so they simply widened the old Roman tunnels. The same happened at the Pietra Pertusa tunnel near Rome. Roman engineers had already found the best path through the rock. Modern studies show that Roman roads deviated only 2% on average from the mathematically optimal route between destinations. The question of whether Romans built roads because they were powerful or became powerful because of roads becomes clear in specific examples. Take Mediolanum, modern Milan. In 220 BCE, it was a small Celtic settlement. After the Romans built the Via Aemilia to reach it, the city grew into an empire's major hub within 50 years. Today, Milan remains at the center of Italy's highway network, with 5 major highways converging at the same point where Roman roads once met. This pattern repeated across the empire. When Romans built the Via Domitia in southern France in 118 BCE, the area had just 3 trading posts. By 50 BCE, 27 towns had appeared along the road. In Britain, the Romans built Watling Street. Now the A5 highway connects 8 major cities along this ancient path, including London and Birmingham. The numbers tell the story clearly. Modern railway stations cluster around these ancient routes. 87% of major Italian rail hubs lie within 5 kilometers of Roman road paths. Cities that grew along Roman roads are now major economic centers. Bologna, Modena, and Parma, all sitting along the old Via Aemilia, show 10.4% higher GDP per capita than cities away from Roman roads. The Romans' road network did more than move armies and goods. It created a standardized way of connecting people and places that we still use today. Their engineering principles, from road layers to drainage systems, remain fundamental to modern highway construction. 2,000 years later, we're still following in their footsteps, often quite literally, along the same paths they carved through mountains and across plains, proving that all roads truly did and still do lead to Rome.